Nithyanam, everybody, welcome back. And in the previous segment, we had a beautiful sharing from Sri Shivanyana Surapaya. It was such a exciting way and so much of, like, you can see the excitement and the energy, the enthusiasm that Shivanyana Surapaya was radiating just while he was sharing his experience with Devi Parashakti and how Devi Parashakti has been constantly been there in his life, guiding him. And especially the last statement when he made, right? Like, Devi told to have the Atmalinga always with you. And actually, the next day, he carried the Atmalinga with him. Next day, his life was literally saved from an accident. His car was completely crushed. But because he had the Atmalinga, he was saved. So we never know when Devi is telling, we just do it. And that's the best thing that we could ever have in our life. So joining us in this segment, in this panel, we have Dr. Peter Bloomfield. Dr. Peter Bloomfield, Nithyananda.
Nithyananda.
Yes, awesome. Aya, can you introduce yourself to all our viewers and participants across the globe?
Yeah, sure. My name is Peter Bloomfield. I'm a disciple of Swamiji, and I met him in the physical in 2014. And I'm also an emergency doctor. I work at UCLA, and I work in the community as well. And gosh, it's been a ride, hasn't it?
Great. So yes, so we've been working with Peter Bloomfield Aya over the last few days. And so Peter Bloomfield Aya, you have received some beautiful blessings from Devi Parashakti. And I would like you to share from the last time the what blessings that you had received from Devi Parashakti and the consequent blessings that you had, and how in your life you're able to see how Devi's blessings are like just there happening as is, and everything she tells is there for a reason. To share it with all the participants who are there. The previous two sharings, as you were listening, they shared about how Devi Parashakti is there manifesting, and she's actually listening to their inner space. Like Pradyumna also shared that she's there answering me inside me. Same way Madanai also shared. It's not about you asking a question, but answering what you really wanted. So please go ahead, Aya, and share your experience with Devi Parashakti.
Yes. So I told Sundareshwara Maharaj that if I come on now, it might be a little bit raw because I've been on a very intense ride. And he said, it's okay, let it be authentic. So I have tremendous connection with Devi. I have Rajodeshwari, and of course Swamiji is the ultimate. So I asked for, basically there was a couple of things I was wanting to just Dharma, Artha, Kama, to either fulfill it or renounce it or drop it or just let it get out of the way of anything that's keeping me from being closer to him and closer to that state and space of Paramashiva. And then also I had found this house, and I was it's right by the temple in Los Angeles. And so I was like, there were other people wanted it and all that. I was like, I really want that house. Please let me get that house because that'll support us to be connected with the temple and all that. And so then I got a really beautiful blessing. It said that I would have, and Sundareshwara can add to the nuances because a lot of it is in that ancient Tamil dialect.
Yes, actually, yeah, maybe I could just share a few things out here. So Devi actually blessed Peter Aya that she'll bless him. I'm just giving that gist. So that he'll have the home. He'll be blessed with the home, and also that Devi Parashakti will bless him with the wealth that is needed. You'll become a karta, and at the same time, she will shower you with wealth and give you the intelligence to not be touched by that wealth. So this is in essence as to what Devi Parashakti had revealed on that first day of Akashikiri. Please go ahead, Aya.
Yes, and I should add that I had said I want to be karta, right? I had said bless me to be able to be karta. Now, the little backstory is, kind of summer, fall last year, I had this very strong push it felt like from deep inside, or it felt like from Lakshmi and Devi and all that, to put it, and Swamiji also said Bitcoin, right? So I put everything into Bitcoin. And then if anyone who's been following, then that was a good thing to have done, right? And so Bitcoin went up, up, up. So when I became a SJP Yajaman, I didn't really have the money. I had to put it together. It was a big stretch. And then now the next thing is happening. Suddenly I had like this wealth, and I was like, oh, now I don't know like what to do. I have this. And it wasn't so much, but it was enough where if I wanted, I could do karta. But I didn't feel I wanted to just leave it there because I was scared to touch it. and some of it was locked up where there's a lot of taxes if you take it out and all that. So even though I asked to be able to do karta, I already really was able to, but I wasn't psychologically prepared to do it. But I knew I was going to do it. I was like, let me do it later. I can do it over time. Let it get bigger, and then I won't be so affected and all that, right? That was my mind's plan. And so then the house was actually the first time I was going to open into that, right? It was the first time I wanted to open into that to support this house. And I was trying to see how can I do this and still leave it mostly okay and untouched and all that. And then, of course, the blessing was beautiful. And I was so excited. But if you listen to the words, you will be showered with wealth, and you will have the intelligence not to be attached, right? Exactly. And so even if I was having wealth, I was having this attachment to it. And I didn't feel I could move it. I didn't feel I could take it out. I didn't feel I could spend it because I didn't feel I could make it again. So it almost became like a heaviness to it, right? And Lakshmi is free flowing. A Lakshmi is locked, right? So it was like an A Lakshmi almost. And then I felt karta can happen in time. It doesn't have to be now, anything like that, right? But then when you put it to Devi, then the next thing will happen, right? So I got contacted like, hey, that's really amazing, beautiful blessing you got. Are you ready to do karta now? And I'm like, no, I'm not ready. And because I was worried about the house itself. And then I just drew a picture. Because then I got another call like that, and I was like, just relax, I'm good. And then I talked to Sundareshwara, and he gave a beautiful context, because he can do the Arulvak, almost like his own Akashic reading with Devi, right? And so he gave a beautiful context for how my relationship with Swamiji, there's still some of my things from my childhood have been keeping me apart from him. So Swamiji will say, you come soon, I'll call you soon, I'll call you soon. But I know the next word he'll say is, I'll call you soon. But soon is always there. And so he said, this invitation is given to you to break that cognition that's keeping you from him. And then, of course, he spoke about the bindi, when Ram Sarat Kumar gave bindi to Swamiji, like a little cigarette. And Swamiji was a child, and he's not allowed to smoke. It's bad to smoke or whatever. That's the social convention. So he didn't smoke it, and then he took it away, and it was gone. He could never have that again. And it was kind of like that. When you have these opportunities, you have to take them, or else you may not get that chance again. It'll come in some other form, but not like that. And so Sundareshwara gave me this context, and then it started boiling in me. Like, oh God, I really should do this. But still there's these taxes things, and I'm not ready to do it. And then I'm trying to work, how can I work my way around? And I'm trying to, I won't say cunning, but at least strategic, right? So that I'll be okay, all that. Anyways, meanwhile, I'll show you exactly a diagram. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can see. Okay. So this is what Bitcoin was doing. Mind you, everything I've put, right? Everything is there. And that's, they had said, don't let your sense of security come from any money, right? Don't let your sense of security come from any money. Don't be insecure. Let your security be from Shiva. Let your security be from Guru, right? That's the only real security. And I was like, okay, I hear you, but I don't know. So anyway, it's sitting like this, right? Then this is what happened. I don't know if you can see, but it's like exactly, it just fell off a cliff right at the same time. So Devi had been saying, give now. If I gave then, it would be one thing. I didn't want to give. Suddenly it starts to go away. And then I've got this Tejo's burning desire to do it. But I'm still trying to be a little bit strategic. Then yesterday was my birthday. And I said yesterday morning, I said, in puja, I know I'm stuck, right? This whole thing is frying in my circuits. At the end of puja, I said, Swamiji, I cannot do this. Whatever needs to be done, I cannot do it. Just come through me, express through my body, make it happen as it needs to happen. I don't care. I'll give the whole thing, nothing matters. Like, just let's just get this thing be done. Let the attachment be broken. Let what needs to happen, let it happen. And an intense bliss came over me. Because of course, when you did puja and you're talking to Atmamurti, you're talking to Swamiji himself, right? And then it was confirmed in various ways, like, yes, now it's me. Suddenly I get a call from the ashram. Oh, we're going to help you with this. We're trying to set it up. Anyways, had a beautiful birthday, amazing sangha, all that. And then And then I'm like, still trying to be strategic so I can come out a little bit unscathed or like a little less affected. Then I look, it was like before dinner, it's 42, after dinner, it's 37, 38. I'm like, oh God, in real time, this is all going away. And then I'm like, now it's the point. If I don't do it now, I may miss the bindi. I may miss the chance, right? So I have to decide if I want to try to optimize strategic something or just say, I don't care. I just don't care. I'll take the loss. I'll take anything. I don't care. I just want to take that initiation from Guru. I just want to break that limiting cognition. I just want to be with Guru. And you can have $10 million, or you can have no money and be karta and be with Swamiji. You know, it's way worth more than $10 million to be with Swamiji, because that's a currency. It can never go down. It can only go up. And it lasts this lifetime, every lifetime, all that. And then, you know, when you do that, then somehow it'll come back in some other form. But yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what I do.
Right. I just wanted to give a little thing into it. So I've been working with Peter Bloomfield Aya for this particular thing. So I know the day when Devi Parashakti actually blessed him with Karta, as he was sharing, right? So it was like each Bitcoin was about like 60,000, above 60 actually. It was an above 60 mark that was there, 60,000 USD. And like how he was sharing, right? So at that point in time, like it was like Devi intimated. So that is what I was actually sharing. So Devi gave an intimation, come on, do it. So it's like a gentle nudge from the mother that we receive, right? So whenever we are like, we have to do something, some mother always shares, no, come on, do it, like that. So when we are like, we have our own things and no, why should I do it now? Maybe a little later. Or when we try to just try to play around and then do it. And that's when like, okay, then you take your time. Let's see what's going to happen. So then real time, like literally, like from the day that Peter Aya got the blessing, I think within like 2-3 days, within 48 hours, literally, the entire thing just started dropping. As you can see in the photo.
It's actually the biggest collapse in the history of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has a long history of collapses.
Yes. So this was just a crash, a complete crash. And it just went down. And so even then, as he was sharing, right? So even then he was still try to be protected. But ultimately, it was not about, especially with him, it was not about with respect to doing the karta or anything, but it was about something else that Devi was showing, something else that Devi was blessing him with. And that is the reason, like Devi took the whole situation to a place where even that last bit of attachment, thinking that the security is from that particular wealth or from that particular money that is going to be held back, is going to give him that security. Just to remove that till the last moment, she just pushed him and he broke free out of that and came through. And actually, there's something that is very, very important that every one of us can listen. Devi has blessed so many people to have the karta. Devi has blessed so many people that she'll manifest through them, manifest the powers and everything. But as he was sharing, it is very, very important that we do the action immediately. Because the first time Devi tells, it's like a nudge that Devi is giving. Never take it for granted. And just do it. You might not logically understand. You might never logically understand what Devi is sharing, what Swamiji is sharing. But it's like they are looking at it from a complete different plane. It's like when I was a small kid in Gurukul back then. So we used to learn about these things, like how Swamiji sees the future versus how we see the future. So we are standing in the ground floor and then we are looking at, oh, there is nothing that is coming. But Swami is there on the 10th floor and then he's telling, hey, there's a car that is coming, don't cross the road. This is exactly like this. Standing in the first floor, we've got no clue as to what is happening. And even if Swamiji tries to explain, we cannot just perceive what it is. The only thing that we could do is to just trust that, hey, Swamiji is there. There's nothing that he can ever gain from me. The only reason he's there is for the compassion, just to give me that breakthrough. Just trust the master's words and jump into it. The moment you're into it, you will just see that beyond and over your imagination of what you could probably get, what you'd probably lose, and all these logical calculations, you will have the best. And so that was something that I was sharing with you. So Aya, so what is that you really felt that you wanted to share with people around? Like so many people have been blessed with karta. What is your message for them?
I'll say one thing I'll say right before that is when it was happening, and it kept going down, 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 down. I was a little bit like, why they're cooking me like this, you know? What is this that I'm being cooked? And it's because I was resisting doing it. Really, when you look back, Devi says it's going to go down. If you do it now, it won't hit you. If you do it later, that'll hit you worse. But I didn't have the clarity because I was in just resistance to the message. So what that ties into for anyone for Karta, I think there's the Devi Puranas and this and that. There could be a Karta Puranas because I feel all of these there could be like a big lila around anyone who takes these steps, and the message is always the same of any story, any like you know of the Nayanmars, and they're so selfless and all that, and some beings are naturally selfless, and that's beautiful. Many of us we ask to be made to a higher being, but our lower selves are still holding on. So we have to kind of get guided into that selfless space, right? So the more we can do it without the push, right? It's like Kalabhairava. If you're going along, he'll be compassionate. If you're not, he'll chew you up, right? So for all the kartas, I'll say like the kartas to be, just really lean into it and know, like this money clearly was given to me so that I could do this. I didn't have it before. I had whole clarity. I should do this. I had no doubt the whole time. It was clearly given for me to do this. But then I grabbed onto it, right? And I wanted to hold on to it and keep it for me instead of it was given to me. Now I'm grabbing it. I won't circle it back, right? So just all the kartas you'll have the circumstances align. Just don't grab on. It's like when Shiva gives a boon, and then the devil tries to use the boon to attack Shiva or something like that, right? When you get the boon, no, you have to just give it back and go. We're here to become Shiva. We're not here to gather sand around us in that big wave in the ocean, right? So
exactly.
I think just I asked to do karta. Instantly it happened. So all these people that get blessings for karta, it may happen instantly. Just don't try and then just go with Devi. That's the only way out. Go with Devi, go with Swamiji, and the karta and the bliss is worth beyond anything. And then actually after that, I just know the showering will happen and it'll keep showering, and only the bliss will happen more. If you give up anything for Guru, you get Guru and you get the thing. Same thing. It's just like that. So that's what I would
Wonderful. Say. Actually, it's so nice to hear as an experience from you. Like many of these things, like so many of us have listened from Swamiji himself in the satsang. But when that actually happens in our life, and even when people actually listen to these things, actually the very reason why I had called you, even though like you shared, right, you told it might be a little raw. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what is needed, because you are experiencing it at this point in time, and it will be a real-time experience, because there are so many people who have been blessed with karta, and all of them know that there are possibilities that exist, because as you said, that money I know was just given to me to give it back to Swamiji. There is literally nothing that I did for that at all. So I was only supposed to be a medium, but the moment the medium thought, so it's like, I just give a small analogy, but do not compare this with yourself. This is like a story that Swamiji shared, okay? So it's like in the tradition, actually I think in West Bengal, there is a tradition in the temple where the deity actually goes procession on a donkey. So what the donkey, like when the procession was going on, as the procession kept happening and happening, the people, because the donkey is carrying the deity itself, so the donkey also gets garlanded, and the donkey also gets the puja, the worship and all of that. So as time passed and as it happened, when the donkey started feeling that it's being worshipped, and like it has become God, and no more it needs to bother about God and all of that. So it did not take the deity that day. The next very day, it refused. It was just beaten to death. So this is like literally what happens in our life. Just look at it in our life also. Like we become so integrated, we receive the opportunity, but Maya comes in, delusion comes in, just doesn't stop. It plays its statics, and then Devi and Kalabhairava, all of them are there just so that we are pushed back to our alignment. Nothing else. It's like no other reason also. This entire event also happens so that you're pushed back. Whenever you feel that I has come in, just break that. All of us are here only to be as a channel. When Devi said in the Akashic readings, in the beginning itself, Devi actually blessed that Everyone whom I'm blessing with wealth, all of you already have the wealth. And all of you are only going to be channels for me to build Kailasa. So all of us know, whoever has been blessed with Karta, all of you please listen. Please understand that you have the wealth that is already there. Your logical idea of thinking that you can protect it, or probably you can save it, and so that it becomes, it multiplies in a much bigger level and then give it back. And I mean, I know that Peter, I also thought the same thing. And yeah, go ahead. You were telling.
I said that was the game plan.
Exactly. So it was like there's no doubt that he wanted to give, but he had his logical things, thinking that it was logical that he can wait for a lot more time, and then it is going to multiply into much more, and he can do a lot more karta and a lot more offerings. But there's a difference. The moment Devi is blessed, that means you are given, you have become a channel. Do it. And then she will manifest much more for you to do it again and again and again in a much beyond scale that you can ever imagine. So never hold yourself back. Whenever Devi blesses, you know in your mind that there is something that is there. Yes, I can do it. I can use this. I can use that. Drop all your logical understandings, logical conclusions, your strategy, your cunningness. Just forget all of that. Drop all of that. The moment the thought comes, Devi has told that this wealth is available, just push it into it. Just put it into the karta. You will see that is the best thing that you could ever do in your life. Just like how Peter Aya shared, there is like absolutely no way that what was raising, like it was just skyrocketing, the Bitcoin. After Devi blessed, it just shot down. And Devi specifically blessed on that particular time. And if he did not do this whole thing, then he would have just been, he would have just been stuck with that feeling of a loss and powerlessness, that he was not able to get it in his life. And the whole thing was just gone into vain. And so do not miss that ever in your life. As Peter has shared, when Devi blesses, just do it. Never take it for granted. Whether you can logically understand it or not, just take the jump. So Peter, is there anything else that you'd like to share with every one of us? And like anything else that you'd really like to, like from your experience, right? Like you wanted to do, and then this experience entirely happening. Now you're making the whole thing happen. Like, what is that you really want to convey to all our participants? And maybe just one thing before you start sharing. All three of you who listened, we have listened from Pradyumnaya, we have listened from Sri Shivanyana Surupaya, we have now listening from Peter Aya. All of them shared about one thing, which is the puja, connecting with the deities, speaking to Swamiji, connecting with the deities. That is a most extraordinary, most powerful way for you to relate to it. It is because of that feeling connection that you live with. Anytime you even think that you're getting misaligned or out of alignment, you're immediately brought into alignment. Go ahead, Aya, share your experience and anything else that you'd like to share with all our participants and viewers.
Just one thing that connects to this is yesterday was my birthday, like I said, right? And so we had a little dinner last night, and it was, at this point, I want to hang out with Sangha, right? Because then we're all expressions of Swamiji hanging out together. And it was just we went out for dosas and at a real nice place in Los Angeles. And it was just such a blissful experience, not because of anything out of the ordinary, other than the wealth of consciousness that we were having, right? And the oneness and the joy and the bliss and the mutual enjoyment of a community based on oneness and bliss in Swamiji. And it's just, that is the real wealth, right? And I don't want to diminish the value of having material wealth because it has a purpose, but we all know it's all Maya. The only thing that's real is Swamiji. The only thing that's real is Swamiji. So we may forget, and then let us not become the donkey. Let us know the only thing that's real is Swamiji, and give respect where respect is due, and then we'll all enjoy. And also I'll say when, I think the key point for me in this was when I just dropped it and I said, I cannot do this, express through me and do whatever has to be done. And that was like a very clear moment of surrender, and it hasn't gone away. Like the expression through me, I think, is kind of a new level, is permanent from that. So that surrender was a key moment. Yes.
Great. Such a beautiful experience, Aya, that you shared. And I really thank you very much for coming up and sharing, and also looking forward in keeping in touch with you, and also for you to come and share, keep in touch with the entire world about your progress and how this entire state you have been able to manifest wealth, and how you're continuously becoming a channel for Swamiji. I'm sure that pretty well all the people who are watching us live would also be wanting to keep in update with you and listen to all your life as to how it is happening. And as you beautifully shared, right, the ultimate protection that we can ever have in our life is having the confidence that you have Devi Parashakti herself, you have Paramashiva himself as Guru, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as our beloved Swamiji, literally physically available in the human body, guiding us, helping us, showing us the path as to what we can do. That is the best and the most, that's the ultimate security that you can ever have. There are so many wealthy people who are there right now, but COVID is not leaving anyone. Your wealth does not matter for COVID. But the only thing that matters at this time of Pralaya is your feeling connection and the protection from the Guru. So do anything to be with the Guru and to fulfill the Guru's words. Never anything against that. You'll only lose it. So thank you very much, Aya, once again for coming up and sharing your experience. It's been a really wonderful time. And thank you once again for coming up.
Thank you, Sundareshwara, for guiding me through this. You have a beautiful voice, beautiful way to connect and keep me integrated. So thank you so much.
Thank you, yeah, Nithyanandam. So there, all the viewers, we listened a beautiful experience from Dr. Peter Bloomfield about how he shared his story, his journey with manifesting the Karta, the Devi Parashakti blessed him with. And all the people who are watching us live, do not miss the intimation when you get, especially from Devi Parashakti, from Swamiji himself. Because when, as Swamiji always shares, when I tell, when it is blessed, it is already there. You don't even have to search for it. You just have to decide to do it. That is all is needed. Do not hold back from anything. You do not know from what all you're going to be saved when you do it. So the moment Devi Parashakti has blessed, I request every one of you sincerely, make sure that you just manifest it as a reality. If you need any help, you can always reach out to any of us and we can help you with manifesting the Karta and manifesting Devi Parashakti's blessings in every one of your life.